When it comes to intimacy, most men think it's about words. They think they need the perfect line, the perfect timing, or the perfect setting. But intimacy isn't built through words. It's created through energy, the energy you bring into the room when you're around her. A woman doesn't respond to your request. She responds to your presence. You don't need to ask her for intimacy directly. You need to make her feel safe enough to want it too. Because a woman's desire doesn't bloom under pressure. It unfolds when she feels emotionally connected, seen, and understood. So before you think about touching her body, ask yourself, have you touched her mind? Do you make her feel seen or do you make her feel studied? There's a difference between being interested and being present. You see, when you look at her with genuine curiosity, not lust, not need, but presence, she feels it. When you listen to her without waiting for your turn to speak, she relaxes. When you hold eye contact without rushing the moment, she begins to trust you. That's the psychology most men never learn. Intimacy isn't something you ask for, it's something you invite. The trick, you build emotional foreplay long before physical intimacy ever begins. Every word, every glance, every gesture, it either tells her you can trust me or it tells her you're just an option. If she senses you're trying to get something from her, her walls rise. But if she senses that your energy is grounded, patient, and non-demanding, her walls melt. That's when she feels drawn to you. Not because you chased her, but because you understood her psychology. So next time you're with her, slow down. Notice her eyes, notice her breathing, mirror her pace. Make her feel that your focus is not on the outcome, but on the moment. That's what creates connection. That's what creates trust. When a woman feels emotionally safe, her body naturally follows. When she feels seen without being judged, her heart opens. And when you stop asking for intimacy and instead start creating it through your energy, that's when she'll come closer, not because you asked, but because she wants to. It's never about convincing her, it's about making her feel that with you, she can just be. And that is the real psychological trick. Most people think intimacy begins when two bodies come together, but real intimacy doesn't start there. It starts long before that moment. It begins in silence, in the energy between two souls, and how safe a woman feels when she's near you. You see, you can't speak your way into intimacy, and you can't charm your way into connection. Because no matter how smooth your words are, if your energy feels rushed, desperate, or self-centered, she will feel it. A woman always feels energy before she processes words. So if you truly want to connect, stop trying to get something from her and start trying to give her something she rarely finds: presence. Presence is the language of emotional safety. When you are fully here, not thinking of what comes next, not measuring her reactions, but simply existing in the moment with her, she can finally exhale. She can finally feel that she doesn't have to perform, impress, or protect herself. That is where intimacy begins. In her ability to relax into your energy. A woman's heart doesn't open when you ask her to. It opens when she senses that your intentions are pure, when she feels that you are not trying to control the outcome. She can tell when your focus is on her comfort and not on your desires. That's when she starts to let you in, not physically at first, but emotionally. Because a woman doesn't want to feel used. She wants to feel understood. She doesn't crave just touch, she craves safety in your presence. So you have to ask yourself, do you make her feel seen or do you make her feel observed? Seen means you're connected. Observed means you're analyzing. Women can feel the difference instantly. You can't fake energy. You can't pretend to care. If you're coming from a place of lack, she will feel it as pressure. If you're coming from a place of wholeness, she will feel it as peace. When you walk into her space, you bring your energy with you. Is it calm, grounded, and confident? Or is it anxious, expecting, and impatient? That's what determines how she responds to you. The psychology of intimacy isn't about tricks or tactics. It's about self-mastery. It's about being so emotionally mature that you no longer chase moments, you create them. You no longer seek validation, you offer comfort. If you want a woman to open up to you, you must first become a man who knows how to hold space. Holding space means you're not trying to fix her, convince her, or manipulate her feelings. You're simply allowing her to be. And that's powerful because women spend their whole lives in environments where they feel they have to defend themselves, where their emotions are labeled as too much or too complicated. But when she's around someone who just listens, who just feels her without judgment, she starts to drop the armor. That's when intimacy begins to build. And when you finally touch her, not just her body, but her mind, she feels it deeply. Because you're not touching out of desire, you're touching out of connection. You're not taking, you're sharing. That's the kind of intimacy that leaves a lasting impression. The kind that doesn't fade after the lights go out. Because it was never just physical, it was energetic. The secret that most men never understand is that intimacy is a mirror. You get what you reflect. If you come with chaos, you attract resistance. If you come with calm, you attract openness. A woman's nervous system responds to your energy faster than her mind can. If your presence feels safe, her body softens naturally. She starts to trust you without you saying a word. That's the real language of intimacy, silence that feels like peace, not silence that feels like pressure. So stop thinking about the perfect words or timing. Think about your state. Before you approach her, ground yourself. Take a breath. Let go of expectations. Enter her space not as a man trying to win something, but as a man who already knows his worth. That's when she'll lean into you, not because you asked, but because your energy feels like home. You don't need to be louder, smoother, or stronger. You just need to be present. Because presence is rare. Presence tells her you're not just looking at her body, you're seeing her soul. And when a woman feels seen, she will let you touch her world in ways no one else ever could. That's why the most powerful men are the calmest. They don't need to force attraction. They create it. Their energy speaks before their words do. Their silence feels safe, not awkward. Their eyes don't demand, they invite. And their presence says, you can be yourself here. When a woman feels that, she doesn't need to be asked for intimacy. She chooses it. She gives it freely because it feels right, because it feels real. And that is the beauty of it all. Intimacy isn't something you earn. It's something you allow. The moment you stop chasing connection and start embodying it, you'll realize that the real key isn't in asking. It's in becoming the kind of man whose energy makes a woman want to say yes, not out of obligation, but out of peace. That's how true intimacy begins, quietly, naturally, and without words. Most men think that intimacy is about doing something, saying the right things, creating the right moment, or making the right move. But the truth is, intimacy is not about doing, it's about being. It's about the energy you carry into the moment. Because a woman can feel whether you're there for the connection or just the reward. She can feel if you're grounded or if your energy is restless. And the moment she senses that you're trying to get something from her, she disconnects. The real psychological trick isn't about manipulation, it's about presence. It's about shifting your focus from I want this to I'm here for this. When you let go of wanting and start allowing, something changes in the atmosphere. She feels it. The pressure fades. The tension softens. You stop trying to make something happen and you start letting it unfold. That's when connection begins. You have to understand that women are intuitive. They pick up on unspoken cues. When your body language, your tone, and your eyes show that you're trying to move the moment toward your goal, she can sense it, and the more she feels your focus on an outcome, the less safe she feels. But when your energy is calm, when you're not rushing, you're not expecting, just being, she relaxes, she feels she doesn't have to guard herself. And that's the space where intimacy grows. A woman's heart responds to patience. When you're patient, you're telling her without words, you are worth waiting for. You're showing her that you're not here for control. You're here for connection. And when she feels that your presence carries respect, she naturally opens up. That's not a trick. That's emotional intelligence. It's the understanding that attraction cannot exist without safety, and safety cannot exist without self-control. So you must learn to slow down, to breathe before you speak, To listen, not to respond, but to understand. Because most people listen to reply. Very few listen to feel. And when you're one of the few who truly listens, who truly pays attention, it makes a woman feel like she can trust you with her truth. That kind of presence is magnetic. That's what draws her in. Energy speaks louder than anything you could ever say. You can't fake stillness. You can't fake groundedness. You can't pretend to be confident when your energy screams insecurity. A woman feels whether your calm is real or forced. Real calm comes from knowing you're enough. It comes from knowing you don't need to get anything. Because you already bring something valuable, your peace. When you bring peace into a moment, you instantly stand out. Because peace is rare. Most people's energy feels heavy, chaotic, uncertain. But when your energy feels light and safe, it becomes magnetic. She feels drawn to it. She doesn't know why, but she feels better around you. That's the secret most men never learn. Women aren't chasing looks or status. They're drawn to how you make them feel. And you make them feel safe not by talking about it, but by being it. So when you're with her, stop thinking about the outcome. Don't wonder what's going to happen next. Just be there. Let silence exist without fear. Let her feel that you're not filling the space with nervousness, but with calm confidence. Because in that calm, her guard lowers. In that stillness, she senses safety. And in that safety, she begins to connect with you emotionally. That's when intimacy becomes effortless. Because she doesn't have to question your motives. She doesn't have to guess whether you'll disappear after getting what you want. She can feel your authenticity. And when a woman feels your authenticity, she will meet you halfway, not because you asked, but because your presence feels real. Remember this, wanting is a form of lack. When your energy says, I want something, it carries tension. But when your energy says, I'm grateful for this moment, it carries peace. And peace is irresistible because peace feels trustworthy. When you release the need to control, you create the space for something natural to happen. This is why the most attractive energy a man can have is detachment, not coldness, but calm detachment. It's when you're fully present but not attached to a specific result. When you're open but not desperate. When you care but you don't cling. That balance is powerful. It tells her you're safe here and you're free here. And that freedom is what makes her choose intimacy on her own terms. Because intimacy should never be taken. It should always be given. And when it's given from a place of safety, it becomes sacred. It becomes something she wants to share, not something she feels pressured into. So if you truly want to connect, learn to master your energy. Ground yourself before you enter her space. Let go of any need to impress, convince, or win her over. Just be. Let your calm do the talking. Let your silence be a comfort. Let your energy be the thing that whispers, you can trust me. That's the real psychological trick to stop chasing and start embodying. To stop needing and start being. Because a woman doesn't fall for what you say, she falls for how she feels when you say nothing at all. When you stop asking for intimacy and start creating emotional safety, you stop being one of many and become the one she never forgets.